Good afternoon. It's November 25th, 2024. And today it looks like we had this broad bear channel, and then we had an overshoot uh, that led to a break here. So in the overnight, we gapped up pretty strongly, and we basically went a little bit beyond the measured move of the bottom of this move to where it gapped up to. Um, and then we pulled back, formed another leg, and then it closed. There was a gap above this high. It closed that gap, bounced for another leg, and then sold off into this broad bear channel. So let's take a look at this. Today I'm doing the ES just because that was the chart I was looking at. Um, I've been doing the MES for a long time, but I'm not trading with real money right now. So you see the gap up, and then we had some sideways stuff, and then looks like some volume came in and sent it up to a measured move. We get the breakout pullback, and that's at this bar closes at 609, and that's a second entry long. Oh, I see it ticked higher right here, but you could look at that as a second entry long. That's how it looks. So I say you take that. We top out here. You get a big bear bar here after closing below the EMA. We get that failed second entry long. This one's good, but you're probably entering into the bottom of a channel, and that's sometimes I don't really like that. So because then it could tick lower and then bounce, especially with the bias being up. That's probably one I'm not too comfortable taking. Personally, I think I would have to go for more than a scalp here, and you would have gotten more than a scalp, and it bounces here and you get this higher low, and this could be one of those situations. If you see that we just close this gap and then bounce, this could be one of those situations where you get another big move up, and that's actually what happened. It could have gone much higher. It didn't today though. And so we form this channel, and you get a break and you get a flatter channel. I don't think if this bar closed bullish, if this bar closes bullish on your chart, I say you take that. I am looking at the 1300 tick chart. So, you know, on the 2000 tick chart or a smaller tick chart, maybe this is a good bull signal bar. But we get a break of this channel. We're just going sideways. You got to be careful here. Um, and I think there's an argument for liking this as a short here. That is a second entry short. It's aggressive, and it turns out we go much lower. The way I'm looking at it right now is it looks like we got a spike in channel, and then we basically had a sell climax that closed well beneath this channel. That's how I'm looking at it. And yeah, that looks accurate because this turned out to be resistance again. Um, so yeah, we spiked down and formed this broad bear channel. Looks like we're going sideways for a bit, so not really much you can enter on in here. Here, you know, this kind of looks like a two-legged pullback, but you're going into support, and we bounce right here, and this is clearly a little bull channel. And we get confirmation of this channel, of this broad bear channel right here. So there's reasons to like this one, but again, we got a bull bar instead of a bear bar. I mean, you know, you could consider this, Unfortunately, we're ranging, so I think the better move is to at least scalp out partially, but it ends up being a really nice move down. And basically, what we did is this was a level of support before, and what we did was we made a measured move uh, when we broke out below that. You can see there's a breakout pullback. I just don't have like the charting tools to draw that midline. So anyway, we form a spike. Maybe this is the first pullback, and this is the channel, and we get a break, higher low. Couldn't quite make it to the highs of the channel just yet. We go sideways for a little bit longer. And when you see these higher lows, you might get long in here. Is there an opportunity? There's an inside bar right here, so second entry long, not a good signal bar. Uh, Not really any good signal bars right here, high or low, but it's got a bare body. So there really isn't. Maybe you enter on a limit order and go um, hold until you get to the highs. That's something to consider. Um, and we get a little bit of a breakout that fails, and then we get a strong sell-off, but we don't make a new low. And then we form this bull channel. So if you're looking at this as support and you're like, I'm buying low, and you see that you have, sell climax, bull pullback, sell climax, small bull pullback, sell climax, a nice little bull breakout here, you could think of that as like a parabolic sell climax, and you get this higher low, maybe you consider that. But the bias is down, um, so be aware of that. You see here we gapped down and then went up, trapping the longs, and then it makes a new a low below that break that gap. So it's getting a little choppy. You could argue for this one right here off of this support or this resistance area. Uh, and then it pulls back and you get a first entry, second entry right here. That's worth taking. Turns out to be a good move. Here you get a first entry, second entry, not a great signal bar, but you're right at the EMA, and there's a chance that we go down to the lows of this channel, but we don't. We come back up and we test this level of resistance a few times. And so when we get this lower high and a nice bare body, I mean, you could argue for it right here too, but at this point, we broke out, came back. It's like a breakout pullback. You might consider that one. That turns out to be the better one. There's just so much more overlap in here. So we come down here. After the fact, you can see there's a channel in here. Uh, if you're looking at the shorter term, you have a break of this channel. Get this double bottom, first entry, second entry, off the EMA. I like that one. And we're just going sideways, but we're making lower lows. This is clearly a level of resistance, so we pull back, bear reversal bar, lower high, first entry, failed second entry long. That's a very good signal bar. So I don't know if you could go on the engulfing bar because you're going into this support, but when that thing closes, that looks really like a good setup. And this one's aggressive. Oh yeah, that's why I didn't mark it. It's because you're going into the support of this broad bear channel. But that's a second entry long or short off the EMA. But another reason you probably shouldn't take that is because of this trend channel. You're just in the middle of that channel and going into support right here. Turns out it worked, but then you get overshoot, first entry, second entry short. But again, this is just a little this is a level of support. So I think you have to be a little, you know, careful. We come down here, big bounce, get a higher low. Maybe you're aggressive because maybe you take that and you could get a move all the way up to here. It's good enough for a scalp. Then we get another sell off, double bottom, and then it just rockets up. And I don't see a way to get in on this. And then we get some resistance up by the top of the trend channel, and we form this range. And I don't think you can enter anything in here. We get a breakout and hit a measure move, and it bounces. And we're still in this range. Come down here, and then we form this kind of broad bull channel. And I just don't see anything you would want to take in here. And that leads us to the end of the day. It looks like some stuff's happening. So, yeah, I mean, on this chart, there's a decent amount of volume, and I think that's probably just people trading before they take off for the rest of the week. So, there could be some volume tomorrow and Wednesday, but it's going to slow down at some point. So, hope everyone had a good day. I'll be back tomorrow.